Many people harbor bold dreams and vivid visions of what their future could hold. Yet for countless ambitious individuals, turning these aspirations into reality proves to be a daunting challenge. Despite knowing exactly what they want, they often find themselves immobilized, unable to take the first step forward. This struggle can be deeply frustrating, as the gap between intention and action seems insurmountable. Understanding why this happens is the first step toward breaking free from inertia and moving closer to one's goals. Many people find themselves caught in the cycle of procrastination and avoidance. Despite having strong intentions to complete tasks, actions are often delayed or put off entirely. This pattern can lead to mounting stress and a growing sense of frustration. Over time, the repeated postponement of responsibilities can erode motivation and make it even harder to get started. Understanding this cycle is the first step toward breaking free from its grip. It's important to recognize that recurring behaviors often stem from ingrained psychological habits and established brain patterns. These tendencies are not an indication of a person's character or intelligence. Instead, they reflect the ways in which our minds adapt and respond to repeated experiences over time. By understanding this distinction, we can approach personal growth with greater empathy and clarity. This perspective encourages us to focus on reshaping habits rather than judging ourselves or others unfairly. Each day, many people find themselves caught in a cycle of avoidance. Instead of tackling important tasks, they turn to distractions like scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows. These comfort-seeking behaviors offer temporary relief, but often come at the expense of meaningful progress. Over time, this pattern can erode motivation and make it harder to achieve personal or professional goals. Recognizing these habits is the first step toward breaking free from the routine of avoidance. Ambition often drives us to pursue challenging goals and strive for personal growth. However, this desire to achieve can clash with our natural inclination for comfort and ease. The human brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid discomfort, favoring familiar routines and immediate rewards. This internal conflict can make it difficult to push beyond our comfort zones, even when we know it's necessary for progress. Understanding this dynamic helps explain why pursuing long-term ambitions can sometimes feel like an uphill battle against our own instincts. Choosing short-term comfort often means avoiding challenges or uncomfortable situations. While this may provide immediate relief, it can gradually lead to long-term dissatisfaction as important goals and personal growth are neglected. Over time, these choices reinforce habits of avoidance, making it harder to face difficulties in the future. This cycle can erode self-belief, as repeated avoidance undermines confidence in one's ability to overcome obstacles. Many people believe that motivation is the key to achieving their goals, but this is a common misconception. Motivation is often temporary and can fluctuate from day to day. In reality, discipline is what drives lasting progress. Discipline is not an innate trait or a sudden burst of energy. It is developed through small, consistent choices made over time. By focusing on these everyday decisions, anyone can build the foundation needed for long-term success. Perfectionism often stands in the way of taking meaningful action. The fear of making mistakes or not achieving flawless results can cause individuals to hesitate, waiting for the perfect moment that rarely arrives. This mindset leads to missed opportunities, as valuable chances slip by while one waits for ideal conditions. Over time, the pursuit of perfection can become a cycle of endless delay, preventing progress and personal growth. Recognizing this barrier is the first step toward embracing action, even when outcomes are uncertain. Fear of failure is a powerful force that often keeps people stuck in the realm of imagination. Instead of taking steps toward their goals, many find themselves endlessly dreaming, hesitant to face the possibility of falling short. This fear can create a barrier, making it difficult to test ideas or pursue ambitions in the real world. By remaining in fantasy, individuals avoid disappointment, but they also miss out on growth and genuine achievement. Confronting this fear is essential for turning aspirations into tangible experiences. It is important to recognize that inaction, rather than failure, poses the greatest threat to achieving success. Waiting for the perfect moment often leads to missed opportunities and stagnation. By taking imperfect action, we open ourselves to valuable lessons and growth that simply cannot be gained through hesitation. Progress is built on trying, learning, and adapting, not on waiting for flawless conditions. Ultimately, it is through action, even when imperfect, that we move closer to our goals. Breaking the cycle begins with acknowledging that discomfort is a natural part of change. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, it's important to take small actions, even when you don't feel ready. By accepting that progress often feels uncomfortable, you empower yourself to move forward regardless of your current mindset. Over time, these consistent efforts can build momentum, making it easier to sustain positive habits. When embarking on any new journey, it's crucial to remember that lasting progress comes from starting small and building consistency over time. Rather than striving for immediate perfection or expecting dramatic change overnight, focusing on manageable steps helps create sustainable habits. Small, repeated actions gradually lead to meaningful results, making the process less overwhelming and more achievable. By prioritizing consistency, individuals lay a strong foundation for long-term success and personal growth. As we practice discipline, our brains gradually adapt, making self-control feel more natural and less effortful over time. This process strengthens neural pathways associated with focus and good habits, allowing us to resist distractions more effectively. However, willpower alone isn't always enough. Changing our environment to minimize temptations and support our goals plays a crucial role in maintaining productivity. By creating spaces that encourage concentration, we set ourselves up for long-term success. It's easy to fall into the habit of constantly seeking out motivational content, hoping that the next video or quote will spark lasting change. However, consuming endless inspiration can become a trap, giving the illusion of progress without any real action. True growth happens when you move beyond learning and start applying what you've absorbed. Shifting your focus from gathering motivation to executing your plans is where meaningful results begin to take shape. Remember, action is the bridge between intention and achievement. It's completely normal for your first attempts at something new to feel imperfect or even disappointing. Rather than focusing on achieving flawless results right away, it's more important to build a habit of showing up and practicing consistently. Over time, regular effort leads to noticeable improvement, even if progress feels slow at first. Remember, consistency lays the foundation for growth, while initial quality is simply a starting point, not a final judgment. Setbacks and resistance are a natural part of any journey toward improvement. It's important to recognize that mistakes or missed days do not define your progress. Instead, they offer valuable opportunities to learn and grow. By approaching these moments with resilience, you can return to your goals with renewed determination. Remember, persistence in the face of challenges is often what leads to lasting success. Embracing self-compassion means treating ourselves with kindness, especially when we make mistakes. Instead of dwelling on guilt or shame, we can acknowledge our imperfections and learn from them. Forgiveness, both for ourselves and others, opens the door to continued effort and personal growth. By letting go of harsh self-judgment, we create space to move forward and improve. This approach fosters resilience and a healthier, more positive mindset. Laziness is often seen as a fixed trait, but it can be more accurately understood as a learned behavior shaped by our experiences and environment. This perspective allows us to separate our actions from our sense of self, making change feel possible. When we recognize that habits can be unlearned and new patterns developed, we open the door to personal growth. You have the potential to reshape your routines and overcome obstacles, regardless of past behaviors. Change is not only possible, but within your reach. Avoidance often stems from underlying fears, such as the fear of failure or discomfort. which can prevent us from pursuing our ambitions. Psychologically, this behavior is a protective mechanism, but it can lead to missed opportunities and stagnation. To overcome avoidance, it's important to recognize these patterns and gradually expose oneself to challenging tasks. Setting clear, achievable goals and breaking them into smaller steps helps build momentum. By consistently taking action, ambition is transformed into tangible progress and lasting change. Lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It begins with small, consistent steps taken each day. These simple actions, repeated over time, lay the groundwork for meaningful progress and the achievement of your dreams. By starting now, you set powerful momentum in motion. Remember, every journey is built one step at a time, and your commitment today shapes the possibilities of tomorrow.